will consider keeping your camera on and engaging with our artists. But if you choose not to, you can turn your camera off in the bottom left-hand corner of the Zoom window. To provide everyone with the best possible experience, we're going to ask that you keep your microphones muted unless you're called upon or invited to speak. We will provide some time for questions with TONGA towards the end of the program, and we'll do so by using the raise hand function in the participants panel. And once someone tells you, when someone invites you to speak, you can then unmute your microphone and ask your question. For the best possible experience, we're going to suggest that you view this event in speaker mode. You can switch to speaker mode in the top right-hand corner of your Zoom window. In an effort to provide a welcoming and positive environment, we ask that you use your preferred first name and your given last name for your screen identification. And if in the event that we have a situation with inappropriate behavior by a guest, we will shut down this event and restart it. If that is to happen, the offending guest will not be readmitted. Before we begin this evening's music event, I do want to acknowledge that Wheaton College campus is located on the traditional territory of the Wampanoag people, and I want to share with you a quick land acknowledgement.
As a step toward honoring the truth and achieving healing and reconciliation, we are opening our program with an acknowledgement that we are on the traditional territory of the Wampanoag. We practice this acknowledgement to recognize and respect the indigenous peoples as traditional stewards and owners of this land. This is one action we take to correct the stories and practices that erase indigenous peoples' history and culture. It is a step toward being more equitable and inclusive on our campus.
And without further ado, I'd like to introduce Matthew Allen.
Yeah, I'm going to need to speak soon.
Oops. Hello, everybody. Let's see. Can people hear me? Okay, great. Well, welcome to our event. This year with the virus, we've had some real challenges in trying to mount our Haas Visiting Artist series. Jessica, who gave the introduction, has been central in making this happen. And then I'd like to introduce TONGA Rosmau and his band. They're in San Diego, so greetings from across the continent to you folks. TONGA was a student at Wheaton College, graduated in 2008. We spent a lot of time together, and he's one of the most talented musicians I've known, student or non-student. We talked about this particular concert, and because I'm teaching a music business class, I asked TONGA if he could give us some kind of a concert presentation, which would also help us learn about what it's like being a musician, a professional musician for him in San Diego, and what it's like for the other musicians. So he's going to be doing basically 3 parts to the concert tonight, introducing each part, and each one will be sort of a different phase of his professional life. So you'll get a sense of the variety of things that he does as a working musician. So I just want to say that the concert will be about 1 hour and a quarter. There'll be no break, so it'll go straight through, and there'll be opportunities if you'd like to talk with TONGA or ask questions. I think that's all I needed to say. So warm welcome to TONGA Rosmau and his friends.
All right. Okay. I can't see anybody right now because I don't have any screens in front of me, but I can hear everybody clearly when I have the headphones. So if I'm not able to respond to you, just look to see if I actually have the headphones on or not. Thanks for having me. It's great to be doing this for Wheaton. It's been a while since I've been back on campus. But when Matthew asked me to do this, I was stoked to lend whatever experience I have for the school and for all the students. So today I have 3 phases for this concert. The first phase that we're going to go, it's a shorter phase than the other ones, is the I split it up in the first phase being this is my original music or original arrangements. The second phase will be me as a collaborative artist with another artist. And then the third one would be me working as a direct support to another artist. So I'll introduce them more in more detail as we go through the concert. But the first two pieces, the first piece that we're going to play is actually a throwback to my Wheaton days. This is a song that I wrote actually for my senior thesis concert. And I still actually play at gigs and whatnot to this day. And it's called The Looking Glass. And right now I'm going to feature David Castaneda on percussion and the great Kamal Kenyatta on soprano saxophone. So we'll get this started. All right. So I'll do an intro and then you guys will come in per usual. You're the first solo, and then the second solo, I'll cue you into the bridge, and then we'll kind of fade out. Sorry.
It's on the video.
Oh, gotcha.
Tell me.
What?
He wants to.
I'm. Hello. Can. All right. So the next one that we're going to do is an arrangement. That one. Okay. There are so many cameras. There's one there. I think there's one there, and I don't know if that last one's working. That last piece was called The Looking Glass. I actually wrote that in memory, or not memory of. I'm not too sure if he still works at Wheaton, but there was a janitor named Steve that would let me in room 222 to allow me to practice. And we struck up a friendship.
He's there.
He's still there? Okay, cool. Nice. Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we struck up a great friendship since my freshman year all the way through senior year. We had a deal. I would practice, and then while he would clean, and then we would just hang out and just talk. So, so I still play that song, and I have an actual picture of the both of us from my senior recital that I still keep in my guitar case. So it's always been there, always will be. So it's good times. The next piece is actually going to be a Fleetwood Mac cover, but that I rearranged. You guys will probably recognize it, called Dreams. And right now want to bring up our singer, or one of the singers today, Mariela Contreras. So hope you guys enjoy this.
Now here you go again. You say you want your freedom. Well, who am I to keep you down? It's only right that you should play the way you feel it, but listen carefully to the sound of a loneliness, like a heartbeat drives you mad, and the stillness of remembering what you had and what you lost, what you had and what you lost. Thunder only happens when it's raining. it's only me who wants to wrap around your dreams. And have you ever any dreams you would like to say? Dreams of loneliness, like a heartbeat that drives you mad in the stillness of remembering what you had and what you lost, what you had and what you lost. Oh, thunder only happens when it's raining. Players only love you when they're playing. I said women, they will come and they will go. When the rain washes you clean, you'll know. Oh, thunder only happens when it's raining. Players only love you when they're playing. I said women, they will come and they will go. When the rain washes you clean, you'll know. They're all applauding Tonga. I can hear them.
All right. Our next, so that's going to be the first phase. I do a lot of other original stuff as well, but nothing that I could really, show off tonight. There's a lot of production stuff that I do and full band stuff, but we wanted to keep it as COVID safe as possible. So we did I figured a stripped down version of the different kind of groups that I play with would work best for this concert. So now for the second phase, we're going to show you, I think 3 or 4 tunes, three tunes that actually Mariella and I wrote together the last few months. So during quarantine, of course. So what else is left other than to write music and not play it live? So the next tune, I'm gonna actually hand the mic over to her to introduce the songs as well as the meaning behind the lyrics, and we'll just go from there. So here's the collaborative portion of the set. It should be on the side.
Hello, everybody. Hi. Thank you so much. The next few songs, oh, right there. You're right there. The next few songs are original. They're in Spanish, and they're all about the first one, which is paso a paso, step by step. Talks about my never-ending dance with life and how I usually, when I take one step forward, sometimes I take 2 steps back. And this song is mostly talking about that experience, paso a paso. So I'm kind of talking to myself in the song, trying to decide if I'm going forward, if I'm moving backwards, what is it that I want with life. So enjoy. Yeah, on the headphones. qué quieres, a dónde tú vas, si cargas pasado que tú quieras olvidar. Te encuentra el presente, te quiere ayudar, pide que dejes al pasado descansar. Dime tú quién eres, qué piensas lograr, si al futuro le darás una oportunidad, si pisa pa' enfrente y dejas atrás lo que no te sirve, lo bueno te acompañará. Pasito a paso voy, estoy buscando mi destino hoy. Un paso para enfrente, dos pasos para atrás. Bailando cha-cha se disfruta el paso más. Pasito a paso doy, estoy ausente en el presente. Voy contando los minutos, ignoro los segundos. Las veras y los días, vida desvanecerán. ¿Tú qué quieres? ¿Tú qué das? Decide, niña, que la vida pasará. Vive tu presente, no mires atrás. Disfruta lo que la vida te regalará. Come on, Tonga. Dime tú qué quieres, a dónde tú vas, si cargas pasado que tú quieras olvidar. Te encuentra el presente, te quiere ayudar, pide que dejes al pasado descansar. Dime tú quién eres, qué piensas lograr, si al pasado le darás una oportunidad, si pisa pa' enfrente y dejas atrás lo que no te sirve, lo bueno te acompañará. Pasito a paso voy, estoy buscando mi destino hoy. Un paso para enfrente, dos pasos para atrás. Bailando cha-cha se disfruta el paso más. Pasito a paso doy, estoy ausente en el presente hoy. Contando los minutos, ignoro los segundos. Las horas y los días, vida desvanecerán. ¿Tú quién eres? ¿Tú qué das? Decide, niña, que la vida pasará. Vive tu presente, no mires atrás. Disfruta lo que la vida te regalará. Te regalará. Disfruta, niña, disfruta lo que la vida te da. guess would the equivalent for standing ovation be a Zoom ovation? No? All right, I'll just that would be it. Okay, good. Thank you. The emojis, I think it's the way of expression. Yeah, okay. Okay, so the next song. So as I'm trying to walk through life, and I'm dancing through it, and trying to figure out what my steps are, as many of you maybe as well. The next song is about me trying to control the wind and trying to control something that's so not controllable, like nature. And it's me singing pretty much of, I'm saying that I'm trying to find a way to not try to control the wind. So I'm trying to flow with the wind instead of controlling it. And that's what this song talks about. Sigo buscando sin encontrar una respuesta para calmar la ansiedad que vive dentro de mí. Quedará si no la busco, no la encuentro. Sigo ignorando sin escuchar canto discreto que sopla el viento, y empiezo a bailar un baile lento con la realidad. Me envuelve el ritmo de su silencio. Quédate si no tienes que viajar. En la duda encontrarás la verdad. Detén al viento. Aquí te espero para platicar. No me queda remedio, te voy a escuchar. Toma el control, contigo viajo hasta encontrar lo que yo siempre he buscado. buscando sin encontrar una respuesta para calmar la ansiedad que vive dentro de mí. Quedará si no la busco, no la encuentro. Sigo ignorando sin escuchar el canto discreto que sopla el viento, y empiezo a bailar un baile lento con la realidad. Me envuelve el ritmo de su silencio. Quédate si no tienes que viajar. En la duda encontrarás la verdad. El camino que te espera no es derecho, nada es cierto. Detén al viento. Aquí te espero para platicar. No me queda remedio, te voy a escuchar. Toma el control, contigo viajo hasta encontrar lo que yo siempre he buscado. Detén el viento, detén el viento. Yeah, it's up to you.
All right, we have one more to do with Mariela. Yeah. She's about to introduce. She forgot.
This is the break for our pianist and our percussionist. They might go get burritos. They don't have that long, but maybe bring us back one or two. All right, so this song is called Tenemos que Hablar. Oh, you're right here. And this song is pretty much talking about, I'm telling my heart that we need to talk, that we need to sit down and have that camera. We need to sit down and have a serious conversation. And so it's pretty much that. It's me talking to my heart, saying, hey, we need to sit down, we need to talk, we need to get real, because something's going on. So that's what this song is about. Tú y yo tenemos que hablar. Hay asuntos muy pendientes y no son nada pacientes. Yo te tengo que contar todos esos cuentos que no le platico ni al viento. Tú latiendo sin parar, dices todo y nada, y lo dices sin hablar. Corazón, déjame te cuento todo lo que siento y todo lo que tengo. Corazón, escuchar que pronto se terminará esta plática. escuchar de esos temas que evito, los que nunca te platico yo. Tengo mucho que sacar, pero estás tan lejos que te tengo que gritar, corazón. Déjame te cuento todo lo que siento y todo lo que pienso, corazón. No me dejes de escuchar, que pronto se terminará esta plática. Tengo mucho que contar, pero se me acaba el tiempo. Tengo mucho que decir, pero se me acaba el aliento. Tengo mucho que contar, pero se me acaba el tiempo. Tengo mucho que decir, pero se me acaba el aliento. Headphones for Tonga.
Okay. Can they hear me right? Oh, which? So that camera. Okay. Gotcha. I'm looking right at you. This is very difficult. So the music that you can find actually I of mine is quite a bit different than what you're hearing tonight that I have out. There's actually two projects that I have out. One is under just my name, TONGA, TONGA. It's a little bit, there's a number, the way Spotify works, there's similar names that might come up. So you might have to put it in, say, the track title as well. If you put in the track title, first things first, Tonga, and then first things first, then you'll see that's the correct Tonga. Because if you just TONGA and then first things first, and then that's one place you can find me. There, I actually have a link tree. Lou, if you go to my Instagram, that's like my bio, you can actually just tap on that and then it's good. Another thing that you can check out, jazz project I had recorded, I think a few years ago, called Ascent Trio. That's actually not on my link tree. Something I have to update, of course. That is more of what the style in which you've heard today, like the first two songs, in particular the more jazz-oriented kind of trio, or well, it is a trio, project that I had. I'd worked with a couple of great musicians from San Diego and another singer. And I put a 5-song EP out that has original music as well as a couple of standard covers, kind of like what I did with Dreams, but I flipped them. So that's the other one that you can check out. And I had another group, a funk quartet called Chief Nasty. That's if you just put that in Spotify, it'll come up right away. I think there may be a couple other songs called that, but It was an organ trio originally. I was playing bass keys and organ and other keyboards, and then we had a guitarist, Ricky Giordano on guitar, and Tim Newton on drums. Phenomenal musicians, and then we were lucky to bring in our friend Steve McKinney on bass, and we only got a single out initially, and that's the one, I think it's called The Mothership. So it was just a loud. No, yeah, that was formerly Bomb Squad, but we changed the name to Chief Nasty, and then like that's what we put it out as. So, and then yeah, outside of that, the stuff that I put out right now is more production based. Lo-fi beats, not so lo-fi beats, some down tempo, IDM, pseudo electronic kind of fusion, and yeah, that's what I have out so far, and then more on the way. Yeah, Twitch. Right. Well, Louis will put some links in the chat. I think, yeah, you can find all that, Lou, right now. I would like to ask if there's, at this point, we have one section left, but wanted to see if we wanted to get maybe a Q&A, just a quick Q&A or whatnot in right now before we do the last section. So.
Matthew, you want to offer up the chance for some questions?
We like we could do like PSA, like a public service announcement, like directed to like students.
Okay. I'll just wait on hearing it.
Should I just go ahead and ask?
Yeah.
Yes, Nico, go ahead.
Okay.
Hi, Tonga. It's me again.
Yep.
So something about watching you play. First of all, thank you so much for playing what you've played so far, and you sound phenomenal, and you made my night again. So thank you. You made my day 2 days a week already. Something about you playing with the trio on piano or on keys rather made me realize something that I didn't put much thought into, which is like private instruction, like post Wheaton. So it's like you go to Wheaton, right? And you're a music major, so you take lessons with a professor one-on-one. But then it's like you graduate from Wheaton and you're not with that professor anymore. So it's not like you just stop learning how to play piano, like you turn 22 and it's like, okay, your career started, no more lessons.
Right.
So I wanted to ask you, in your career now, what was your journey like with like instruction after you left Wheaton? Did you like look for anybody to take private lessons with?
Right. That's actually really funny. Kamau, who played saxophone and piano tonight, I actually sought him out within the first year of graduating, because with that intention of wanting to grow more. I mean, just because you're out of school doesn't mean the learning stops. And I'll tell you right now, if you're in music, or really anything, but definitely in music, you want to keep growing, and there's so much more to learn. I learned a good amount, but at Wheaton, but in time, Wheaton eventually was, it ended up being my springboard to really. I came out very curious. So what I did was I called up Kamau. We were both acquainted with each other through different musicians. I was playing with my dad's band, or still do, and the musicians that I played, a couple of musicians that played with him, with my dad's band, also played with Kamau. And little did we know, we were both getting information about each other through them. Just like, oh, you should really like meet up with Kamau. Like, you guys would totally hit it off. And they were telling him that as well. So I called him up within that year, just looking for some guidance or just something to satiate that the urge to keep growing and not just by myself. So we set up a lesson, we hit it off right away, and then he has been very, like, extremely kind. After a couple of lessons, he's like, you know what, I can't teach you anything else, which is hilarious because I'm still learning. I'm learning tonight more stuff. But he took me, like, legit took me under his wing, and he's like, let's just make music and, let me pass down whatever I know. I'm like, all right. Now, with that being said, I took it very seriously. And I think that's really, like, when someone offers you their time and their support like that, for me, it was really important for me not to just, like, okay, come in and, learn whatever I can or whatnot. So I took it seriously as he was like, okay, he's mentoring me, truly. So I took every opportunity to support him in any way I could. I went to whatever gig I could, catch. We would kind of have these, like, hangouts and just, learn music, talk about everything under the sun. And I took it upon myself he teaches at UCSD, and I asked him if I could TA his classes if he needed help, and he said, like, yeah, sure. So that was an opportunity for me to help him, for helping me, but as well as I was also a little selfish. I was spying on, like, how he was teaching because I was taking everything I could that he could possibly, give. Like, when he was teaching, I was like, all right, cool, he's doing that. That's really super effective. Like, so it's really informed my teaching at a very deep level. So what I would say after college or any education, education never really stops, especially in the arts. If anything, I feel like if you're not evolving, you're not being true to yourself or your art, because you're constantly growing, just living. Like, I was very different. I was in a very different part of my life's journey when I was in college. 2-3 years later, I was somewhere else. Every 2-3 years later, it was constantly evolving. So where I'm at now is a culmination of all those things. So the one thing that I could do to honor that evolution is to keep learning, with people. If you're lucky enough, you might find somebody like a Kamal for me. But even if not, it's your peers. Like, I learned plenty from, my friends in San Diego, LA, New York, like, musicians all over the place. I keep in contact with them, and we're always sharing, hey, what are you doing? Like, what are you doing? And then we just give each other as much support as we can just by, teaching each other what we know. So it never stops. I'm sure you can even ask Professor Allen. He's been learning. He's, his whole entire life, and we've talked on end multiple times about how just all of our experiences have, like, expanded. Well, Matthew's done quite a bit of traveling and, like, living in different places and really absorbing it. But all of those things really culminate into your art. So how to do that? Just put yourself out there, and then, just try and find somebody that you might click with. And if you don't, it's okay. But just keep kind of trying to connect with people. There's plenty to learn from people who are, like, phenomenal masters and your own peers as well. So hopefully that was concise enough.
Yeah. Tonga, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay. So why don't you get set up for the third component? I'm looking, and I can't wait to hear more music now.
Right. All right. We have a few more songs left. I'm bringing in my father, actually. So this is the third phase or section of this concert, and this is me as a direct support too. So I've been playing with my father since I was 13 years old, and have been directly supporting him um, as a musician, while he's been supporting me as a father. So um, his vision is very unique, and it's I talked about this a little bit at length in the class on yesterday, but the best way to do it is to hear it. It's his Polynesian roots. He's from Tonga, fused with the different musics that he grew up with, listening from like all over the world. So I'm going to. It'll take a couple of minutes to kind of get things figured out, but just bear with us, and then we're gonna get going.
Never mind. He's my boss.
So just
And no, I was asking, it's like, I can go straight right there.
no. Well, because then you can't hear yourself.
Huh?
You can't hear yourself. Yeah.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. You're gonna have.
Oh, but the monitor was on.
Hi, Samisi.
Because when she sang.
Yes. No.
Oh, okay. No.
This is probably
Go ahead.
Can we move
You want
this?
to tune it, Tom?
We move this mic to
Wherever you want. Yep.
and then.
You want to tune it?
It should be fine.
Okay.
So we'll use this mic. Yeah.
Oh, it's like the balance. We're gonna do the first song.
We're gonna do.
No, just give him an idea.
No, it'll be fine. We'll figure it out. I just need.
Is the Coconut Man is gonna be the first one?
Yes.
Okay.
I just need to get close to the.
I have a guitar chord. Oh.
They can hear it.
Oh.
I just think this will be long enough.
If not, we might have one.
Oh,
You can even use one from Canal if you want.
This should be good.
oh, oh, oh,
Yeah.
No, that's coming from his.
Oh, right.
Yeah, just keep it
I
on.
mean,
No, it's okay. It's gonna be good. This is perfect. I've used this on bass many times.
hey, Tom, can I say something about the balance quick for the song?
Yeah, what do you mean?
Okay, it's like you have the bass up and then my vocal down with the guitar almost the same.
Okay.
And the vocal, no reverb.
Okay, no reverb.
No reverb. Yeah.
Okay, okay.
It's like everything else. Yeah, everything's dry.
Try it. This one was being a little weird.
Because my volume is just go from.
I can if you want.
No, it's all good. Yeah, that's cool.
Where's the volume here,
There,
Tom?
right there. It's very touchy there.
Well, this one is very touchy too. So I want to control from there.
It's okay.
and comb my hair too?
All right, so go ahead and introduce the song that we're going to do.
Oh, okay. The song is it's about me. It, I grew up in Tonga, and actually, it was inspired. My band back in Tonga, they used to call me the Coconut Man, and I thought, well, this is kind of cool. It talk about like the cross culture. It's like how I grew up and how the music is involved in me and have ideas. So, for example, little things like our house is right next to the beach, and you woke up and you see there are fish. When you're 9, 10 years old, little boy, you develop that skill to go chase your breakfast, lunch, or dinner. It's depend on the low tide. So it's maybe about the depth, it's about 8 inches. And so you can learn that there's a school of fish, and you focus one, and you chase that guy less than 2 minutes or 1.5 minutes. You know it's going to be tired. It's going to hiding under the sand or the seaweeds or under the rock. You already know this kind of a fish. But anyway, and that's the part I was kind of look back and forth how I come up with the song. And came here, and there's a totally different culture. And it's like, you go have beer, the drink at the bar. I grew up with the kava. It's a bunch of, as a social, the kava drink, maybe you can go Google it, is, but it's like on a social, as the boys, you have a bunch of boys, they go, if you like a girl, and you go knock at somebody's door, and if the father look at you, he likes you, everybody's going in. And if it doesn't like you, he closed the door. And so no worries, you can go to the next door neighbor. And just so you do that until somebody is going to open the door for you. So that is a kind of, you do your date. You go knock at the doors, until a father likes you. Eh? Okay.
Explain why, what does that mean? Coconut Man, the song.
Oh, okay. This.
Just talk about the middle part.
Okay. So when and there is a part in the middle of the song too, is I'm gonna do a chant. I dedicated for my sister. There's a sports. They do for the girls when they're like 12, 13 years old. They do a competition, and they have like 4 or 5 or 6 pieces up in the air, and they don't know how long these pieces up in the air. They didn't have a clock. They came up with the chant. So I have like 3 verses I dedicated to my sister. He lives by the sea and love the sunshine. He enjoys the breeze and wait for the high tide. Coconut man swimming all day. Coconut
coconut man, fishing all day. You coconut man, such a life. You coconut man, such a life. Cause money and wine is the no style. He's smoking no weeds, he's naturally mild. Coconut man, dancing all night. Coconut man, he's having fun all night. You coconut man, such a life. You coconut man, such a life. What? Pull it up. Pull it up. Fua pe au mo ua pe au do he anau. Fai pe au fe paki pe au do he fiko. Ko pai ko ulu he a teni te he a tena tawanga pe alama ko li foi. Sa vai ki a to tofu ne papunu ki rene ngā kumenga mana tu ki mana. Fo haulu fe taki na ngā to whanonga. He a pulo tu he ki to toila. Pull it up. Pull it up. Ko alua toa whakewa no pingana ngana tātini mamalu ka pusi nā pāka oi oi mana. Whololonga whota tai he piri o Hawaii he mama he nume he ai he sā ke tala ke tāpena ai i o tulo i o whea i o whuna mi tā fuafi tapatane matangi ka hulaga i walu taki ho atu taki ho ate lele vai e mani talu ko vai manu lele. Put it up. Put it up. Whenua si he menunga tu polo a kalo ina ko tuto. Hono vai he no fo ala ka uake. Pule pule ana tete. Tahamboli pala ua kia unga tolu tupulo tu whalanga pani matau singa ono hala. Fitu kia sipu walu kia manu hiwa o taipu. Tāpare amo fita puku hopagari pate pe amo ngana wakia sia. Kau alu ki wawa o kia unga tākita. Mosi hene whanau koi fisi se. Siku oi tonga lolo apare ake wakakiha am. Frau si hala me te fisi nai pori popori. Laka hiki laku taha. He ua tolu wha. He te funi makalere. No for vai te lere. Put it up. Put it up. Coconut man, can you speak and hear the words? Coconut man, the plants, trees and birds. Coconut man, can you tell me what kind of a man? Coconut man, what inside the dark tank? You, coconut man, such a life. You, coconut man, such a life. Such a life. You, coconut man, such a life. You, coconut man, such a life. Pull up. I think I need some water. It's too loud. Sorry.
Talk about yes, dear.
All right, the yes dear. I'm the youngest of. I'm the youngest of 8 children, And I have 6 brothers and 1 sister. So I just remind you, don't feel sorry about my sister. She's fine. Well, it's a cultural thing. She is, women in Tonga, they have a lot of power. So that's why, don't worry about her. Anyway, and I noticed my dad passed away. I was 5 or 6 years old. And one of my brother made the instrument very primitive. That's how I started. But anyway, and I noticed when I grew up, and everybody were married, and I was the last one married, like 46 years ago. And I look at all my brothers, they still married to the same spouse. And so, but anyway, I wrote the song purposely for my brothers. The song is, you can relate to that. It's called Yes Dear. I think is very obvious. That's the whole song's about it. Oh yeah, it's all in Tongan. There's only 2 words you understand, yes dear, but I think every man, they understand every words I said.
I'm going to go on steel drum.
Yeah, you can bring this here. Okay.
I'm going to go over there. The mic is set.
Oh, okay. Guoilo, que vale bem muito a pico. I say, yes dear. Don't let be a guoilo, que vale bem muito a pico. I say, yes dear. Dala noa, si ikuta noa pe. Tupu hake I tonga, he pule a whewhine. Whakamana tua tu si te tahin ke vare. Whanongo ma o pehereo, he reo e kaupule. Kaupine mātua o e te mo, e te mua. Tahi wehiwa pe kia ke ki mautongu mātua. Ko e tā whuki ki ta kauta lui pe kia hina. Malo si kautanga ta si tau whai e tā lunga. Guoilo, que vale bem muito a pico. I say, yes dear. Que me abeu a guoilo, que vale bem muito a pico. I say, yes dear. Poki pongi e whanonga, ki o maki api uta. Tamata e kuhore Yes, dear.
Okay. So we have one more song to wrap up the set. Matthew, I don't know if you wanted to say anything, or Jessica. I'm not too sure. We need to tune up a little bit before those last one.
Well, when we're done, we can go out and have a burrito.
Right.
I think there was someone else who had a question for you, Tonga.
Okay, I can.
Who else had a question?
This would be a perfect time for that.
I had one earlier.
What's your
Just
name?
about
Go ahead.
orchestration most of all, because like the choice of percussion, because I see you don't have a drum kit in the room right now.
Right.
So I look at why that specific percussion and why the soprano sax. How'd you go about, your orchestrations?
It's situational. What I had briefly mentioned it. I have different configurations that are a bit more ideal, but my main concern for this performance was to keep everybody as safe as possible. So I didn't want to crowd like a room, especially with my father and Kamal, who are a bit more vulnerable. I mean, we're all vulnerable to COVID, really, but there are certain populations that are a bit more. Oh, up. Oh, turn. Oh, gotcha. And then, so with these songs, I would generally have like a percussionist, but David might be playing congas and some other stuff, but have like a drum set player. But because of, me trying to get the spacing and whatnot, it was more out of just necessity. So, and I think for myself too, it's a nice challenge. you're not going to have the ideal setup. I mean, it'd be great to have a full horn section, you know, like dedicated bass player, this, you know, drum set and whatnot. But my music for myself, the challenge for me is like, okay, how do I adapt the music to whatever situation? You know, if it's a duet, it's a duet. But maybe I have to play guitar or piano, and that'll change my approach. So the clear answer to the question is like because of necessity and just I was trying to keep everything like this spacious, but at the same time I do like to mess around with different orchestrations because they also tend to, especially when I'm writing, tend to pull me in a different direction compositionally. And I have a couple pieces. For example, I had a jazz, I think, octet or septet that I had, what was it? Tenor saxophone and trumpet. But then I also had a bass trombone and a bass clarinet. And I specifically wrote for that group because I knew people who played those and I was really close with them. But also at the same time, I wanted to explore, okay, the different timbres. Like, what can we get with those particular ones? By the way, they blend extremely well. I'm going to be writing more for that type of group, but it's an adventure. So orchestration is an adventure, and sometimes you're able to control the variables, or other times it's like, well, this is what I have. Kamau happens to play soprano, saxophone, and piano, and we kind of trade off all the time. You know, we've done that for years. So I just wanted to feature him on soprano, which he's my favorite soprano player, and I've heard him for years. So I wanted to share that with you guys. And then percussion-wise, instead of having drums, cajon has that deeper layer or sound with the bass sound than congas, and I needed that for some of the songs that we were playing. So that's kind of the thought process. Hopefully that answers your question. Anything else?
Thank you. That was
an amazing answer.
So
what was your name, by the way?
Oh, I'm Nathan.
Nathan? Did I say that correctly?
Yep.
Awesome. Really nice to meet you.
Yes, sir.
Fantastic question. Thank you.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. All right. Any other questions, or shall we go to our last tune, Matthew and Jessica?
Yeah, Tonga, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I just wanted to add that when you're talking about orchestration, can be situational.
Mm-hmm.
There's the story about the composer Stravinsky, and in World War I think it was, he was kind of stuck in Switzerland, and he was in a small village. And so the first thing he did apparently was go around, knock on all the doors, and find out who the musicians were and what instruments they played. And then he wrote, I forget, but one of his most famous pieces, he wrote based on the instruments that were available in that little village.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, it's, I will say, I think you become more creative out of a situation that when you are limited to whatever is around you. And I think, I learned that in school actually, when you're given certain limitations, like write in this, form, or write in this kind of, time signature, or use only these types of chords or whatnot. What you do is you find creative ways of still getting to what you want to say, but now you're taking a different angle because the usual route that you would go isn't available to you. And so you actually find a lot of new things on the way, and you still accomplish your goal, but now it's much more lush with something else that you wouldn't necessarily first thought of. So, but yeah, Stravinsky, that's a really funny story. I've heard that once before. I think from you, probably in class, Matthew. So I love that. So,
well, Tonga, this has been a great evening. We're ready for your next piece, man. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you.
Thanks, Tonga. We've had a great time.
Thank you, Jessica. I can't see you, but I think that's your voice. I think I've recognized it enough.
Yeah, it is. It is.
All right.
Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure.
Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Thank you for everybody who's been tuning in. And hopefully I see some of you guys in tomorrow's class, whoever's in the class that I'm visiting virtually. And then we can go in more depth, or you can ask more questions if you have any. So the last song is going to be pretty appropriate for you guys, your guys' time zone. It's going to be it's called Lata Lullaby. And that is my grandmother, my dad's mother, would sing this to my dad to go to sleep. And then my dad picked it up, and we've been playing this with his band forever, seems like. And a great story about this is he implemented the song in order to calm the crowd, like the bar crowd that he'd be playing, down, because they would end a set pretty, on fire, and then everybody would be like, encore, or keep going, one more. And once he implemented this as the last tune, they finally, it calmed everybody down, and they were cool to let them get off stage. Although I think one time I think one person came up to the after the lullaby, and instead of like yelling one more, he came up and was like, "Can we get one more?" So after implementing it, then it's been a tradition to end out come back. But so we're gonna end this one, just the two of us, and thanks again for tuning in.
Tonga, what instruments you gonna play? Okay, I can hear she's. Huh?
No, let's just do this.
Hi. Good night, baby. Baby, good night. Good night, baby. Baby, good night. Sweet dream, baby. Baby, sweet dream. Sweet dream, baby. Baby, sweet dream. love you, babe. Baby, we love you. Love you, baby. Mohe, mohe, si ekutama. Mohe, 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 si ekutama. Mohe, 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 mohe.
Oh, that's beautiful.
All right. That's it for us on this end. Thanks again for having us. I want to give a really quick shout out to Avant-Garde Music Company, based in San Diego. This is their studio. It's a music store, music education, centerpiece in Chula Vista, Eastlake. And they were gracious for us to use the studio, and then especially our esteemed engineer Louis Valenzuela, helping us troubleshoot all the technical difficulties that we had right before we started. So I'm glad we got that figured out. And thanks, Jessica, for hanging on and helping out too.
My pleasure. Thanks for hanging in there with us.
Yeah.
Yes, Nico, you can unmute and give everyone a round of applause if you like, and everyone else is welcome to do so.
Thank you, Tonga.
Oh, hi, Julie.
My dad.
Thank you.
Hi.
Nice to hear your voice.
So beautiful. So beautiful. The music was wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Hey, Tonga.
Yes.
Can the other musicians come out and take a bow? Are they in there?
They might be eating their burritos right now.
Yeah, can we get Louis come in too? Yeah. So I don't know exactly. I mean, we should cover most of this. All right. Yeah, just get it like here and then just wave to the camera. There's the one. So once again,
thank you, folks. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right. It's amazing, Mao, my father, Mariela Contreras, my lovely significant other, David Castaneda on percussion, Kamal Kenyatta, and Lou Valenzuela, our engineer. So thanks again. Sending love from San Diego.
You can't see Louis' head.
Oh,
so
Louis. Yeah. Get your head in there.
Hey guys.
There. All right. Well, cool.
Well, it was a grand experiment. It worked.
Yes, it worked. It worked. We figured it out. So I'm glad it
Tonga, I want to say hello to Samisi. Can he hear me?
Yes, one sec. Say hello. So put that on. Oh. And then Matthew Allen. You hear Matthew?
You just unplug it.
he should be able to hear you now, Matthew.
Okay. Hello, Samisi.
Oh,
Matthew Allen here.
Hey, man, miss you. Hey, whenever anytime after these things, come on over. Spend a whole month with us.
That's a deal.
That's a deal, yeah, man. Yeah, that's a long time. Did you hear Larry, unfortunately, our buddy Larry Dent passed away?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Tonga told me.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah,
Oh.
that's, yeah.
But it's great to see you. You're looking great.
Yeah, it's the hair is getting thinner. and I have a lot more color.
No, but you look good. You look good with a mask on, man.
I think I'm gonna wear that forever. Oh man.
Well, Samisi, Julie and I can't wait to see you. We'll come to San Diego when we can.
Yeah, it's anytime,
Yeah.
anytime. How are the kids now?
Oh, they're great. One of them's in grad school. She's 28 years old.
That's crazy.
And the other one's doing musical theater in New York. She's 22.
Oh, that's crazy. I have great pictures of that, of them too, with Katie and Tonga. That was really cool. Yeah.
Oh,
We're always thinking of you
Yeah.
guys all the time.
Yeah.
And
So sweet.
I remember the dogs. If you come, we have 3 dogs. We don't have grandkids, but we have grand dogs.
oh.
I think we're almost ready to move. No, I shouldn't have to say that yet. Ready to go to San Diego. Definitely.
Oh, who is coming to San Diego?
We're ready.
Oh, okay. Anytime. As soon as this.
Julie, you got a couple more years.
Yeah, I know. You're right. You're right. That's why I'm like, oops. Tempting right now, I must say.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, it's really great. we tried to follow the things that stay. This is my first time come and play outside from my house since March 15.
Wow.
Yeah, since March 15.
Wow.
And I don't know that you heard we've been doing the lullaby for the last 224, I think now. Every night since since we stay home.
Oh.
But it's on California time at 9 o'clock. So it's a little bit late for you guys.
Night. Midnight here. So cool.
Well, thank you guys, and we'll be in touch.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
this was really beautiful.
Thank you, Julie.
I was hoping. Yeah.
All right, we're gonna cut the feed on this end so we can pack up. But
Okay.
I'll see you guys tomorrow.
It's hard to let you go.
I know it's hard to go.
Yeah, we'll see you.
We'll see you tomorrow.
Yeah.
Morning for
Thank
me.
you.
So I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah,
All right, I'll see you guys.
excellent.
Hey,
Thanks so
Tonga,
much, Tonga.
Yep.
Do
What's
you
up?
need any help carrying the amps out
Oh
to
my
the car?
This joker. I mean, it's gonna cost you a lot just to come. All right, guys. I'll see you guys tomorrow.
Tonga, it's great. It's great to see Kamal. It's great to see Mariella. These people I've heard about but never met.
Right.
And you got beautiful music together.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Be good. Be safe.
Yep.
Yeah,
You guys
take
too.
care.
Yep. We'll see you
Bye,
tomorrow.
Tonga.
Bye.
Thanks so much. Bye, everybody, too. Nice to see everybody who
All right.
showed up. It's great.
Good night, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much.
Bye.
Bye.